Alright, I would like to show you how to work with a book if you want to learn new words. I'm going to show you how to extract the words from the book, from the text, how to look up these words, how to understand these words, how to learn these words, and probably most importantly, how to actually practice these words so that you can use them in real life. Because as we all know, it is not enough to just understand the word. You have to use those words. I would like to enrich your vocab today. It's actually pretty simple, but maybe not easy because it takes time. Let's use this book. I chose one sentence or one paragraph in the book pretty much randomly. It took me a few moments to find good enough paragraph that I would like to do with you today. And let's do this paragraph. A couple of weeks ago, Ambra had confided in a very influential man about her involvement in tonight's events. The man had strongly urged her not to participate. He had warned of the dangers of blindly hosting a presentation without any knowledge of its content, especially when it was produced by the well-known iconoclast Edmund Kirsch. For the analysis today and the subsequent practice, we are going to be using my favorite Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary. Its online version is right here, oxfordlearnersdictionaries.com. They are basically identical, though there is more in the online version, more sentences, more example sentences. But I love working with a printed version. So let's start. I'm not going to analyze and talk about everything, but I'm going to cover most of it. A couple of weeks ago, Ambra had confided in a very influential man about something. I'm not going to talk to you about this, confide in someone about something. You can look it up on your own. I would like to start focusing on involvement. Her involvement in tonight's event. So let's focus on the word involvement first. Involvement. Meaning number one, the act of taking part in something or dealing with something. US involvement in European wars. Involvement in something or with somebody. The online dictionary will give you more example sentences, so feel free to look up all these example sentences, which is something I always recommend people do. It's usually not enough just to read the definition or to have a look at one sentence. Meaning number two is not relevant for us, so I'm going to skip it. Meaning number three is not relevant for us, so I'm going to skip it. The meaning that we want is number one, her involvement in tonight's events. The act of taking part in something or dealing with something or with somebody. She took part in those events. US involvement in European wars. If I want to, I guess I can copy this sentence here, but you know what? Maybe I'm not really interested in US involvement in European wars. Maybe there's something better. For example, our company's involvement in something, in the deal, for example. Let's say that you work in a company and such a sentence would be of more interest to you than US involvement. So the sentence I can make would be, I warned against. I'm actually going to explain warn against something later, and coincidentally it's one of the words which was here. He had warned of something, of the dangers, but later. I warned against our company's involvement in the deal. In the deal. I warned against our company's involvement in the deal. Let's focus on involvement. All I have to do right now, as soon as I understand, is simply practice the sentence. This is not where my work is done. I have to do more. I have to practice the sentence. I have to say the sentence a lot of times. I have to say the sentence with looking at the text, while looking at the text, without looking at the text. I have to say it naturally. I have to say it mindfully. I have to role play the sentence. I have to imagine I'm actually saying the sentence to someone. You can close your eyes, you don't have to, but when you close your eyes, do not picture the sentence behind your closed eyes. Picture the person you are talking to. I warned against our company's involvement in the deal. I warned against our company's involvement in the deal. But I warned against our company's involvement in the deal. Well, I warned against our company's involvement in the deal, so why didn't you listen? I warned against our company's involvement in the deal. Hey boss, but I warned against our company's involvement in the deal. So you should have listened to me. I warned against our company's involvement in the deal. Say the sentence naturally, without looking. Talk to someone, talk to yourself. Imagine you are talking to someone. You must not read the sentence mechanically like a robot. You have to pay attention to what you're saying. And when you reach the moment when you are very confident saying the sentence, when you can say the sentence very naturally without thinking, well, that's exactly what you want. I want to do more. Involvement is not enough for me. I want to also have a look at involved, and I want to have a look at involve. So why not do involve first? Adjective. Taking part in something, being part of or connected with something. So it's basically the same as this. This is of course noun, this is adjective. Some people try to stop the fight, but I didn't want to get involved. It can't be helpful to talk about your worries. It can be helpful to talk about your worries to someone who is not directly involved. That's exactly the meaning we want. Involved, be involved in something. He became actively involved in politics. You can be involved with something or with somebody. Several people have been involved with the project from the beginning. You can also say several people have been involved in the project from the beginning. The difference is minuscule. It's absolutely insignificant. It is small. It is teeny tiny. So do not trouble yourself with that. Meaning number 2, are we interested in that? Giving a lot of time or attention to something. No, that's not what we want. We want the first one. So, what sentence can we come up with? We can rephrase this. I can say our company was involved in the deal. Our company was involved in the deal, which basically means that we took part in the deal, we were part of the deal, we were connected with the deal. I also like this sentence. He became actively involved in politics, but let's make the sentence more personal. Maybe my dad became actively involved in politics. Maybe it's a real situation for you. You have a dad who became actively involved in politics. My dad became actively involved in politics. Let's let's do at least one more. We can also modify this one. Several people have been involved with the project from the beginning. Actually, we don't have to modify it. It's a good enough sentence. I can imagine that there are several people in my company or people I know who have been involved with the project from the beginning. So why not? Let's just copy it. Several people have been involved or actively involved. Now we have with the project, but in the project would be just as fine. Have been involved with the project from the very beginning. Good enough. And as I said, I would also like to have a look at involve. Meaning number one, if a situation and event... Okay, we might do it later because that's not what we want. We want probably this one. If a situation involves somebody, involves something, if a situation, an event or an activity involves you or something, they take part in or are affected by it. So yes, that's pretty much what we want. That's the meaning what we want. Number three is the same meaning basically, but different structure because you involve someone else in something. We want to involve as many people as possible in the celebrations. And number four is not relevant to us. So let's focus on number two and number three. There was a serious incident involving a group of youth. Okay, that's a good sentence, but again, let's make it more personal, more relevant to us. What about this? Maybe the scandal involved a lot of other companies. That could work. That could work. Okay, so the scandal. Maybe there was a scandal in your company last week. Scandal involved a lot of other companies. Scandal involved a lot of other companies. Okay, so we have involvement, we have be involved, and we have involve with basically the same meanings. So why don't we practice it a bit? We've already practiced the first sentence, so without looking you should be able to say, but I warned against our company's involvement in the deal, so why are you complaining? Let's practice the others. Our company was involved in the deal. Our company was involved in the deal. Our company was involved in the deal. But our company was involved in the deal. Our company was involved in the deal. Well, because our company was involved in the deal. Why are you so sad? What's wrong? Our company was involved in a certain deal and it was not good. Our company was involved in the deal. Our company was involved in the deal. See, I can say it very naturally, without looking. My dad became actively involved in politics. Yeah, my dad became actively involved in politics. That was a disaster. My dad became actively involved in politics. Hey, what is new? My dad became actively involved in politics. Oh, really? Several people have been involved with the project from the very beginning. Several people have been involved with the project from the very beginning. Well, several people have been involved with the project from the very beginning. Several people have been involved with the project from the very beginning. Yeah, I know. Several people have been involved with the project from the very beginning. I know, sure. The scandal involved a lot of other companies. The scandal involved a lot of other companies. Yeah, but the scandal involved a lot of other companies. It's not just our company. The scandal involved a lot of other companies. Unfortunately, the scandal involved a lot of other companies. And again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again, until you feel really confident saying the sentences out loud to an imaginary person. You cannot read it off the paper like a unthinking, mindless mechanic robot. It is a drill, but it must be mindful drill. I would also like to point out one more meaning when it comes to involve. I want to do more, and I'm interested in the first meaning. If a situation, an event, or an activity involves something, that thing is an important or necessary part or result of it. It might be too complicated a definition, but let's have a look at the example sentences. Involves something. Any investment involves an element of risk, meaning that risk is a necessary part of an investment. I actually like the sentence. Maybe I can just copy it. It's a different meaning, so be careful, but the word is still the same. Any involvement, any investment involves an element of risk. I want to put down a few more sentences before I start practicing it. Okay, so involve something or involve doing something. That's very useful too. The process involves using steam to sterilize the instruments. All right, this particular sentence is not extremely useful, but let's come up with a better sentence which is more relevant for you. My job involves something. A lot of useless tasks. Useless tasks. Like, why are we doing it? It's totally useless. My job involves a lot of useless tasks. Any investment involves an element of risk, and my job involves a lot of useless tasks. I also want to use doing. Oh, that's easy. My job involves answering a lot of phone calls and replying to a lot of emails. And we can turn it into a little role play. One person A can ask, hey, what does your job involve? What does your job involve? My job involves, what did I say? Answering a lot of phone calls, and replying to a lot of emails. And that should be enough. All right, let's practice it from here to here. Any investment involves an element of risk. So risk is part of the investment. Any investment involves an element of risk. Yeah, but all investment or any investment involves an element of risk. So stop complaining. Yeah, but any investment involves an element of risk. Hey, be careful. Any investment involves an element of risk. And my job involves a lot of useless tasks. My job involves a lot of useless tasks. Hey, tell me about your job. My job involves a lot of useless tasks. Well, my job is good, yeah, but it still involves a lot of useless tasks. Hey, what does your job involve? My job involves answering a lot of phone calls and replying to a lot of emails. Hey, what does your job involve? My job involves answering a lot of phone calls and replying to a lot of emails. And again, I'm going to look up and I'm going to look into the eyes of an imaginary person and I'm going to role play it. Hey, what does your job involve? My job involves answering a lot of phone calls and replying to a lot of emails. Yep, that simple. Role play. Imagine you are talking to someone. First read it a couple of times, play with it, cuddle with it, experiment with your voice, with the intonation, but eventually you have to be able to say it like that. Not read it, but say it. Or better yet, role play it. So I think that's enough for involvement, but I do recommend you go through everything very carefully. Just like we can practice sentences here over and over again, you can simply practice sentences here over and over again. Cover it, say it naturally. Imagine you talking to someone, role play the sentence over and over again until it feels extremely natural. Until the sentence feels like you own it, like it belongs to you, like it's your sentence. You must be able to realistically imagine that you are saying the sentence, maybe tomorrow to your boss, maybe next week to your wife. It must feel very natural. If it doesn't, practice more. So that was involvement, involved and involved. Let's move on. I'm skipping this one, you can look it up on your own. The man had strongly urged her not to participate. Beautiful. Urge someone to do something is beautiful, and participate is beautiful. Participate in something. Let's focus on participate first, and then we will do urge someone to do something. Participate. Participate. I have participate right here. Participate right here. Participate. Participate in something. You take part in or become involved in an activity. See, we have involved again. Why? Well, because it's an extremely useful word and you will see it everywhere. Take part. When we were analyzing the definition of involve or the meaning of involve, do you remember that there was take part? Here we go again. To participate in something. She did not participate in the discussion. We encourage students to participate fully in the running of the college. Or the women actively participated in the creation of the artwork. I like all these sentences. She didn't participate in the discussion. So you can imagine you have a colleague, Lutzka, and she did not participate in the discussion. She did not, or Lutzka did not. She didn't. Participate. Don't you just love working with a paper and your hand? Doesn't it feel natural? Like a human connection with nature and another human being. I do believe these things are important. She didn't participate in the discussion. Lutzka did not participate in the discussion. I'm going to put down more sentences before I start practicing them, drilling them. People don't like the word drill, but it's an essential part of your English journey. We encourage students to participate fully. Maybe one more. My colleague Lujek never participates in organizing conferences. That's good. My colleague Lujek, what a beautiful name, never participates in organizing conferences. Maybe he should get more involved in organizing conferences. The dictionary does not strictly or clearly say that you can say participate in doing something, in organizing, but yeah, you can. My colleague Lujek never participates in organizing conferences. We encourage students to participate fully in the running of the college. Here, the running is noun. In something. In what? In the running of the college. It's a good sentence. It's practical. We encourage. Not every sentence has to be a sentence that you are likely to say next week. It can be a sentence that someone else can say to you or say when you are around. So you should be able to understand these sentences too. We encourage students to participate fully. It's a good collocation, participate fully in the running of the college. The women actively participated in the creation of the artwork. Okay, maybe that one is less practical. Maybe you don't want to talk about artwork, but the principle is the same. Actively participated. Also, your brain remembers things better when you do things in hand, when you write the sentence, and when you look up things in a traditional dictionary. Because brain works in such a way that historically and evolutionary, when you encountered, when you stumbled upon, when you read or saw some information on paper, your brain had to remember it because you never knew whether you would be able to look it up again, whether you would have that piece of information at hand again in the future. So your brain remembered. With online things, your brain knows that you can look it up at any time you want at no cost. The information is there, the information is available, so your brain does not really put a lot of effort into remembering stuff. That's one of the reasons, but only one of the reasons I prefer paper dictionaries. Better for the brain, better for your memory. The women actively participated in the creation of the artwork. You can change it maybe in the creation of leaflets or pamphlets. It's up to you to modify the sentence so that you practice something that is meaningful and practical to you. And now something personal. I would never actively participate in the in the destruction of our neighborhood. That's good. Of our neighborhood. American spelling, I believe. Yeah, that's enough. Totally enough. Totally enough in terms of understanding the word, but not enough in terms of practicing and being able to use the word. So let's do it. She didn't participate in the discussion. Well, she did not participate in the discussion. I'm sorry, but Luzka did not participate in the discussion. Why did she not participate in the discussion? I don't know. I just know she didn't participate in the discussion. My colleague Ludiak never participates in organizing conferences. So again, I'm going to imagine Ludiak in my brain, and I'm going to talk to myself. My colleague Ludiak never participates in organizing conferences. Maybe he's lazy or he doesn't want to. My colleague Ludiak never participates in organizing conferences. Well, Ludiak never participates in organizing conferences. We encourage students to participate fully in the running of the college. We encourage students to participate fully in the running of the college. We encourage students to participate fully in the running of the college. But we encourage students to participate fully in the running of the college. Let's change it a bit. Well, we would like to encourage our students to participate fully in the running of the college. Why don't you encourage your students to participate fully in the running of the college? I don't know, we just don't encourage them to participate fully in the running of the college. I always no, we don't have the what did I read? We don't have okay, let's do that. I can say we encourage students to participate fully. I always urge my students to participate in the book club. That's a good one too. Let's put it here. Yeah, I knew I wanted to make my own sentence. I always urge my students to participate in the book club. To participate in the book club. Yes, that was the sentence I was ready to use. I always urge my students to participate in the book club. So we encourage students to participate fully in the running of the college, and I always urge my students to participate in the book club. Well, I always urge my students to participate in the book club. They really should. The women actively participated in the creation of the artwork. The women actively participated in the creation of the artwork. Next one. I would never actively participate in the destruction of our neighborhood. Yeah, but I would never actively participate in the destruction of our neighborhood. I would never actively participate in the destruction of our neighborhood. Well, I'm sorry, but I will never actively participate in the destruction of our neighborhood. Find someone else. I'm not gonna do it. We are not practicing just involvement, just involved, just involve, and just participate in. All the other words in the sentences are just fine. The destruction, book club, urge. I've just used urge because we are going to have urge later in the text. Urge. There was urge. Yeah, here. The man had strongly urged him not to participate. Oh, beautiful. So I combined two useful words from the text. I always urge my students to participate. Or encourage. It's not here. Encourage is not here. But we are not practicing just participate in something. We're practicing encourage. So you cannot say, I've just spent 1 hour practicing one word. That's not efficient. Yeah, it is efficient. It's a great investment right now. If you really practice it right now, you might even remember it forever. It's a good investment, especially long term. And if someone says, well, I'm sorry, I don't have time to spend 15 minutes doing just one word participate, well, then I would say don't learn English. Don't even start. Don't pretend you want to or need to learn English. Just stop pretending that you want to or you need to learn English. No, you don't. If you don't want to invest the time, if you don't want to spend the time, don't even start. Maybe it's a long journey, but it's a beautiful journey. All right, so that was participate. Next one, I think it was urge. Yes, the man had strongly urged her not to participate. So now we know what participate means and we have practiced a lot. Now let's focus on urge. Even if you know urge, even if you passively understand the words, it does not hurt to look them up and practice them proactively. Because it's not enough to understand it passively. Like I said many times, you also have to be able to use it actively. And you have to be not only able to use it, you actually have to use it when the situation calls for it. When you are in a situation and there's a perfect opportunity for you to use it, your brain must automatically use it. So it's not enough. It's not even enough to be able to use it. You have to use it. Use it or lose it, you know it. Let's focus on urge. Where do we have urge? Do we have urge here? Yes, I believe we have urge right here. Urge. It is noun, of course, too, but we will ignore noun. And I think we might even ignore meaning 3. Yes, we will focus on meaning 2, meaning 1. They are very close to each other. Meaning number 1, you advise or you try hard to persuade someone to do something, or you recommend something strongly. It's very close. So I might not even distinguish between these two. They are really, really, really close. Urge somebody to do something. You always have to respect the structure or the verb frame. You cannot, I know I said it a million times, what you cannot do is look up urge in a Czech dictionary or English Czech dictionary. You cannot look up the Czech word and then say, okay, I understand, and close the dictionary. Absolutely not. I think this is a great opportunity to show you even that. It's very similar to this, but there are few Czech words to help you understand the word. But only to help you understand the word, and only at the very beginning. Urge. Urge. What do you see? It's very similar to the big dictionary, urge someone to do something. There's the definition, there are some example sentences, but there is also Czech equivalent. But what you absolutely cannot do is open the dictionary, look up urge, and go, urge means nutit. Okay, I understand. No, not enough. Absolutely not enough. It can help you. The Czech equivalent or translation can help you a bit at the beginning, but you have to do all the work. You have to go through everything multiple times, and never go back to that Czech again. You can use it only at the very beginning of understanding the word, but then you should never pay attention to that Czech word again. Only at the very beginning. Only at the very beginning. If you ever get the chance to visit this place, I strongly urge you to do so. I strongly urge you to do so. Please visit the place. Or urge that. The report urged that all children be taught to swim. You might be surprised here a bit. You might want to say the report urged that all children are taught to swim. But it's kind of a special grammar which I don't want to delve into right now. I don't want to go into details right now, but the best way to say it is the report urged that all children be taught to swim. We use this kind of special grammar every time you are advising someone to do something, or imploring someone to do something, urging someone to do something, demanding someone do something. You are demanding, you are insisting, you are urging, you are advising, you are wishing for some change. In all these circumstances, situations, in all these contexts, we tend to use this kind of special grammar, but it's not really special. The report urged that all children be taught to swim. Opposite is not be. The report urged that all children not be taught to swim. The report urged that all children go, not go, have, not have, swim, not swim, buy, not buy. Even when there is she or he, the report urged that she not go, not have, go, have. The report urged that he not buy. The report urged that he buy. But let's move on. So what sentences can we make? Yeah, it's easy. I strongly urge you to use a dictionary. I strongly urge you to use a dictionary. Oh, and I really mean it. I really urge you to use dictionary. Please don't use translator. Please don't use translator. I even forbid you to use translator. It's okay to use Czech English dictionary, but after that you have to use English dictionary. You can use Czech English dictionary only at the very beginning, and you must not use translator. Only when you are extremely desperate and you really don't understand the English dictionary, then you can maybe use translator. But after you use translator, you have to use the dictionary again for the same word. I strongly urge you not to translate in any way, shape, or form. It's a phrase, in any way, shape, or form. I strongly urge you not to translate in any way, shape, or form. The report, I like the sentence, you can totally keep it, you can totally copy it. The report urged that all children be taught to swim, but let's challenge ourselves and come up with our own sentence. The memo urged that all employees sorry about the camera. The memo urged that all, I used to make videos on my screen, I recorded my screen, and I still have those videos, and I might make more videos digitally only, where I record my screen, but I also want to do it this way. Because people should be working at home this way. And yes, it is work. The memo urged that all employees be present. I want to use be, but you don't have to use be. Just because there is be in the example in the dictionary, and just because there is be here, it doesn't mean it's always be. Be present at the meeting. The opposite would be the memo urged that all employees not be present at the meeting. By the way, British people very often prefer to put should here, which might be something preferable to Czech people too, but it's not really necessary. I deem it more elegant without should. The memo urged that all employees be present at the meeting. The memo urged that all employees not be present at the meeting. Or the memo urged that all employees should be present at the meeting or should not be present at the meeting. Let's do one more, maybe two more. I love books, so the book, and I like parenting books, but good ones, not those mainstream 10 tips, 10 ways to do something. The book urges that parents, and you don't even need that, the book urges parents, but it's better with parents. The book urges that parents not let their children play with phones or with their phone, with phones, which is great advice. The book urges that parents not let their children play with phones. I have a great idea. So you can say urge that someone do or not do something. It's kind of formal, it's kind of impersonal, but you can also use the first structure and make it more personal and make the advice more targeted, more personalized. The book urges parents not to let their children play with phones. By the way, please, I urge you to let your children play outside, unsupervised, unstructured, without orders from the parents. kids need it. The book urges parents not to do something. Urge someone not to do or to do something. These sentences are basically the same. This one is more formal, more authoritative, more impersonal. This one is more personal and more targeted. I can say, hey, I urge you not to let your kids play with phones. But the meaning is basically the same. So that is urge. The man had strongly advised, or he or she tried very hard to persuade this person to do something, not to participate. Let's move on. He had warned of the dangers of blindly hosting a presentation without any knowledge of its content. I'm going to skip host a presentation, but please look up host, and that's a nice collocation, host a presentation. But now let's focus on warn, because it's a verb and you should always focus on verbs. He had warned of the danger, so he had warned of something. Let's see what the dictionary says. Warn. I have warn right here. Warn. There's of course warning, phrasal verbs. I think we're going to go through both meanings. These meanings are extremely close to each other, so you might be a bit frustrated or confused, but maybe it's maybe it's good news, because if the meanings are very close to each other, maybe you don't have to think about it too much and just use it anytime you want. Like, is it really the meaning I wanted? It doesn't matter. Both meanings are almost the same, so I don't think you're going to make a mistake if you use warn. And I think warn might be the last word we are going to cover today. I wanted to cover order someone to do something, but I think you can do it on your own. I wanted to play with this structure, made someone too angry to do something, but maybe you can do it on your own. Warn will be our last word. But we have a lot of structures here. When you warn someone, you tell somebody about something, especially something dangerous or unpleasant, that is likely to happen so that they can avoid it. It's very close to you strongly advise somebody to do or not to do something in order to avoid danger or punishment. It's very close. Here you are really warning them, like, hey, if you do that, there will be consequences, there will be punishment, there will be penalty, there will be danger. I will do something to you, or the police will do something to you. Don't do it. And here it is more about, hey, I'm giving you advice because I want you to avoid something unpleasant. But very often it's combination of both. Sometimes you cannot say which meaning it strictly or clearly is. They overlap, but sometimes they don't overlap. Warn somebody. I tried to warn him, easy, but he wouldn't listen. I warned him, don't do it. It's dangerous. It will be unpleasant. Probably it will be unpleasant. It will likely be unpleasant. And I think you want to avoid it. Don't do it. But he wouldn't listen. If you are thinking of getting a dog, be warned. They take a lot of time and money. This is interesting and important. Warn about or against something or somebody, or warn somebody against something or someone. Security experts warned about the problems months ago, or security experts warned somebody about problems, or against someone. They warned against thieves, against terrorists, against politicians, against so-called economists. Security experts or experts warned us against or about economists. Let's make some sentences. I think I'm going to use a sentence which is not here, but it's in the online dictionary. I like the sentence with pickpockets. Pickpocket is someone who picks your pocket. They steal your wallets when you are not looking or not paying attention. Our guide, tourist guide, tourist guide, our guide warned. Now you can use somebody, so us. Our guide warned us, but it's not necessary, against pickpockets. Pickpockets. I guess you can say our guide warned us about pickpockets, but I think you feel that against is better, you know, protect yourself against a danger. After against, you can use ing, gerund. It's not really here, it's later here. Against doing something, warn somebody against doing something, but you can say it even here, warn somebody against doing something. So, Marika warned optional me. Yeah, I sneezed. Please don't say bless you. Isn't it interesting that people are always able to say bless you, but they don't remember important things? Marika warned me against, I can say against investment, against bad investment, but in this case I want to say against investing in the company. Now I'm not sure whether I practiced these sentences, but you know, I already showed you how to do it here, so, and I'm going to show you how to do it here. Or I don't need to show you how to do it here, I'm just going to, for the sake of practice, demonstrate it once again so that you really know what you have to do if you are serious about English. Marika warned me against investing in the company. Alright, so that is against or about something. We have against twice here, but you can make a sentence with about or of something. Officials warned the pilot of an anonymous threat. Yes, of or about. So what sentence can we come up with? Our supplier. I hope you know what supplier means. If not, look it up. As my wife would say, it's important. And yes, it is important. Our supplier warned optional us, or warned our company of possible delays. So hey, you know, there might be delays. Be ready for that. Maybe you cannot avoid it in this case, but hey, it can happen. It's dangerous. It's unpleasant, and it's likely to happen. And maybe you can find some alternative or some other substitute supplier so that you can avoid unpleasant things in case we are delayed or we are late in delivering your products. Our supplier warned us of possible delays. It sounds better than against possible delays. It's not like a big danger, great danger. Our supplier warned us of or about possible delays, or our supplier warned of possible delays. You don't have to use somebody. Do we want more sentences? Security experts warned. Again, let's make our own sentence. We can totally keep this sentence and we can practice with this sentence, but why not make a sentence that might be more relevant to you? Security experts is good. Security experts warned, let's not just say us or me, warned the public, that's good, warned the public of about, let's use about this time, about the problems, some problems. We have so many problems. Month ago. So I would not say against the problems, that sounds unnatural, and you have to have a lot of experience with the language to know whether about sounds better or against sounds better. Here I'm pretty sure about sounds better. And about was even here. It was here, so let's use it. Security experts warned about the problems month ago. Let's move on. That. Warn somebody that. Czech people like this phrase because there's that, and Czech people overuse the word that even when they really shouldn't. Luckily here they can. But are they going to use it correctly? 8 agencies have repeatedly warned that a humanitarian catastrophe is imminent. Okay. Okay. Now, I'm not sure if I want to go into details here. We are not saying be imminent as we did with the verb urge for clear reasons, but I don't want to go into those reasons right now. I guess you just have to feel it. Saying be imminent just would not work as it worked with urge. But let's not go into it. Maybe later in the future I can make a different video about that, but not now. Not important. Okay, so I'm not really interested, or I am, but the student that is learning is maybe not interested in 8 agencies and humanitarian catastrophe, so maybe they want their own sentence. My wife warned me, optional, you don't have to use it, but in this case it feels more personal because I'm pretty sure she warned me into my eyes. She said it into my eyes that she would file for divorce. It's like ask for divorce. She officially says that she wants to divorce me if I did not buy her flowers. Did not buy her flowers. Whatever. My wife warned me that she would file for divorce if I did not buy her flowers. Now it sounds closer to the second meaning. Like there's gonna be a huge problem if you don't buy me flowers. But it's not natural to use the structure that with this second meaning, so let's stick to the first meaning. It's a bit aggressive. The sentence is a bit catastrophic sounding, but it's fine. Or my wife won't. Yes, let's use this one. Warn somebody. I had been warned what to expect. I had been warned how to behave. So let's use it. My wife warned me what to expect if I don't or did not buy her flowers. Let's practice it a bit before we do the second meaning. Our guide warned us against pickpockets. Our guide warned us against pickpockets. Yeah, but our guide warned us against pickpockets, so stop complaining. Our guide warned us against pickpockets. Or our guide warned against pickpockets. All guides warn against pickpockets, and our guide also warned us against the pickpocket. Or our guide warned the whole group of tourists against pickpockets. Marika warned me against investing in the company. Marika warned against investing in company. My financial advisor warned me against investing in the company. My financial advisor warned against investing in that company. Marika warned me against investing in the company, but I invested in the company anyway. My wife warned me against investing in any company. Our supplier warned us of possible delays. Hey, there might be delays. Our supplier warned us of possible delays. Our supplier warned our company of possible delays. Yeah, but our supplier warned against or of possible delays. So it's your problem now. Our supplier warned of possible delays. Our supplier warned about possible delays. My colleague, one of my colleagues, warned me of possible delays. Security experts warned the public about the problems months ago. Security experts warned about the problems months ago. Security experts warned the public about the problems months ago. Yeah, but the security experts warned us about the problems months ago. Security experts always warn about problems months ago. See, I'm modifying the sentence a bit. I'm playing with the sentence a bit, but I'm saying it naturally to my imaginary interlocutor, to my imaginary colleague. Security experts warned the public about the problems months ago, so why are you so surprised? My wife warned me that she would file for divorce if I didn't buy her flowers. My wife warned me, or warned that she would file for divorce if I did not buy her flowers. My wife warned me that she would file for divorce if I did not buy her flowers. Hey, why are you so sad? My wife warned me that she would file for divorce if I didn't buy her flowers. Really? It's crazy. Yeah, I know, but she warned me what to expect if I do not buy her flowers, so I think I'm going to buy her flowers. Yeah, I know, but my wife warned me what to expect if I didn't buy her flowers. I think I'm going to buy her flowers. I know that you warned me against marrying her, but I did not listen. And now my wife is warning me that she would file for divorce if I did not buy her flowers. But by the way, I'm not reading it. I'm just talking to myself, and that's exactly what you have to do if you really want to improve your English. Let's focus on the second meaning, which is very close to the first meaning. Warn. To strongly advise somebody to do or not to do something in order to avoid danger or punishment or penalty or imprisonment or death or beating. Advise somebody, optional, against or about doing something. The guidebook warns against walking alone at night. Yeah, that's good. We can change it a bit. The guidebook warns the tourists, optional, you don't have to say it, the tourists against walking at night, The guidebook warns against walking at night. The guidebook warns the tourists against walking at night. Let's do more. I warned, I want to use about. I warned, and I want to use something, not doing something. Here we had doing something, walking. Now I want to use only something, but I'm sure it's going to be easy. I warned about the consequences. I warned my boss. I don't have to say my boss, but it sounds better. I warned my boss about the consequences. It's a very good collocation. Warn someone about the consequences. For example, you are not going to warn somebody about walking at night. It sounds better to tell them against walking, because you really want to tell them, hey, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't walk at night. Here you cannot say don't do consequences. There will always be consequences, but I'm warning my boss to think about the consequences. Hey, there will be consequences and you should think about them, because if you don't, something bad is going to happen. And I warn my boss about the consequences of her inappropriate remarks. Yes, remarks. She said something inappropriate. And she really shouldn't, because there can be some punishment here for her. I warned my boss about the consequences of her inappropriate remarks. I warned about the consequences of inappropriate remarks or of her inappropriate remarks. Okay, and one more, very interesting, very useful. Want somebody to do something. This structure is not with the first meaning, it's only with the second meaning. And it does make sense. Maybe you can hear it. He warned Billy to keep away from his daughter. Hey, don't get close to my daughter or there's going to be punishment. I'm going to beat you up. I'm going to call the police. You might be in danger if you do not stay away from my daughter. He warned Billy to keep away from his daughter. Yeah, that's very nice. You can change it. I warned Lujek to keep away from my wife. I warned my boss to keep away from my sandwich. And you don't even have to say keep away. You can say something different. He warned Billy to keep away from his daughter. From his daughter. Stay away from my daughter. I'm strongly advising you to keep away from my daughter. I can also say he warned Billy not to hurt his daughter. There would be negative, not to. To do something or not to do something. I warned my boss. Here we used to do something. Now I want to use not to do something. Oh, it's easy because there are a million things your boss shouldn't do. I want my boss not to call me in the evening. That happens a lot to people. Please warn your boss not to call you in the evening. I want my boss not to call me in the evening. Yeah, it's a warning, like really don't do it. You can actually use the first phrase or structure. You can say, I warned my boss against calling me in the evening, but it doesn't sound so aggressive. It doesn't sound so threatening. It sounds like friendly, neutral advice. But you can say, I warned my boss against calling me in the evening. I want my boss not to call me in the evening. I warned my boss not to call me in the evening. Yeah, but I warned my boss not to call me in the evening. Hey, so what did you do? Well, I warned my boss not to call me in the evening ever again. Or I will do something about that. I warned him against calling me. I warned him not to call me, but he still called me. So now he has to face the consequences because I warned her about the consequences of this inappropriate behavior. I warned my boss about the consequences of her inappropriate remarks. Well, I just simply warned my boss about the consequences of her inappropriate remarks. And let's see whether she changes her behavior, whether she starts treating me differently. The guidebook warns the tourists against walking alone at night. All right, so I think we covered everything important, plus I think I gave you a lot of advice how to approach English learning. A couple of weeks ago, Embra had confided in a very influential man about her involvement in tonight's events. The man had strongly urged her not to participate in tonight's events. He had warned her of the dangers of blindly hosting a presentation without any knowledge of its content, especially when it was produced by the well-known iconoclast Edmund Kirsch. What to say more? It is extremely important not just to look up the word, not just to understand the word. Understanding is not enough. You actually have to practice saying the word, using the word and the whole structure, the whole sentence over and over again until it feels extremely natural, until it feels like it's a sentence that you could realistically use tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow you're talking to your boss, your wife. Why am I using boss and wife so often? Okay, so bookkeeper or flight attendant, garbage collector. You have to take these words, sentences, and use them in real life and over again. Now, what you absolutely should do, even though I know that no one will ever do that, when you have these sentences, you should read them and practice them and role play them every single day, multiple times, in multiple ways, using multiple different voice, different intonation, many times every day for the next few weeks. For the next few weeks, many times a day. Do I have anything more to say? Don't use check. I urge you not to use check. Only, like I said at the very beginning, to help you understand, to make sure that you understood the word. Maybe, but then you have to stop using check. Use it or lose it. Use the language or lose the language. I would like to say once again, it's not even enough. It's not enough to understand the word. It's not even enough to be able to use the word. You actually have to use it. You have to use it tomorrow and then the day after tomorrow, and you have to use it a few more times next week and next month before the sentences, before the vocab becomes a part of your active arsenal, of your active vocabulary, because this is why we are doing it. We are turning the passive or language. The books are a great source of language, of words, and we are turning those words that you see in a book into your active arsenal. One more thing that I would like to say, and I think that's the last thing. It's okay, and people should just read books for pleasure without stopping, without looking upwards. You should. But it is also a great idea to have one book that you read in order to learn. So when you, hopefully, every day, in a designated time spot in your schedule, if you open a certain book, you will not open that specific book to have fun because you have other book for fun. You will open a book in order to learn. I sit down and I'm opening the book because I want to learn. I might not have fun, it might not be easy, but I'm learning. I want to learn. Your brain is ready to learn. And then I think it's okay if you don't have fun. Then after you learn, after you do something, then you can open another book that you will learn for pleasure. But again, it's a great source of language in context, real language in context. Use it. It's a great source for your vocab, both passive and active. Wow, that has been a long time, but I do believe that I said absolutely everything important. Practice a lot, role play, talk to yourself. I talk to myself all the time. Have long monologues with yourself. Have hypothetical, imaginary dialogues with yourself. Don't use check. Read a lot. And maybe see you later at another video. But the next video absolutely has to be shorter. See you.